Hey everyone, it's Brett from Misfit Media, and I'm sitting here with Nick O'Sullivan, who's the co-founder of Brothers BBQ. Nick, how you doing?
Doing great, Brett. Having an awesome day. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm glad to hear it. It's been a really great time with you guys thus far. I know we started in like late November of last year, and obviously with everything that's been going on, it's been an interesting year to say the least. But you guys have been thriving pretty much this whole year, it seems like, right?
Yeah, I mean, luckily for us, we were kind of set up luckily for this type of environment. We already did a ton of takeout. We already had relationships with third-party delivery services. And, our first location on the corner of Monaco and Leedsdale is about 900 square feet. So from day one, a lot of our sales came from takeout. And, it only took us about 23 years to figure it all out. But, all the packaging and all that stuff,
Yes.
speaking with other operators, people that are in fine dining and, bar type concepts where it's 99% dine in, they don't realize that how important just those little things are. If you get your food home and it leaked all over the bag,
100%.
you're not going to have happy customers and good reviews. But so luckily we had all that stuff nailed and we were able to hit the ground running.
100%. And yeah, props to you guys for being on top of that. I mean, takeout and delivery, even for us as an agency, was something that we didn't really focus on until COVID hit. So it almost was like a rude awakening. Like, we got to do this now, obviously, right?
Yeah.
For everyone that's watching this right now and just kind of getting to know you, could you give us a little intro about yourself and Brothers BBQ?
Yeah, we started out about 23 years ago, back in '98. Me and my brother just loved eating barbecue. That was kind of the genesis of it.
Yeah.
I used to be a professional race car driver, so I got to travel the country a lot, trying different barbecue. And, my brother used to come to a lot of the races with me, and it was just a passion of ours. It was never, I kind of fell into it. I was 20 years old at the time when we opened our first location. So,
Oh my God. And you guys have, is it 6 locations now, if I remember correctly?
we have 8 now. Eight. Well, we have,
Amazing.
Yeah, we have the 5 stores. We have one in Castle Rock, one in the airport. We're getting ready to open up in Fort Collins, Colorado. And we also own an ice cream parlor, which is unrelated to the barbecue stuff, but me and my brother own and operate a place called Nugs Ice Cream as well.
I love that. That's such a good name.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. All homemade and in-house.
That's amazing. And
that's more of a passion project for us,
That's cool.
What's better than ice cream and barbecue,
Yeah. In fact, we actually just had some barbecue for lunch today. We're talking a few other concepts, barbecue concepts. It seems like barbecue right now during COVID has been kind of the popular type of food. I don't know. Everyone's been eating it and doing well. Barbecue concepts we're talking to, at least. I don't know. Pizza and barbecue are doing really well for us. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah, I think people want that comfort food when they're when you're going through something crazy. It's that good feeling type stuff. Pizza, lasagna,
Yes.
Barbecue, and also I think barbecue and pizza travel well. They're kind of
You're right.
A couple of the food items that you can throw in a box or wrap up in foil and it's ready to rock.
Yeah. If you do right, like you guys, again, you guys were kind of prepared for this. And so you knew how to do it correctly, obviously, which is fantastic. But Nick, tell us about what kind of marketing were you guys pursuing before working with Misfit?
Yeah. I mean, for us, we've always done quite a bit of radio here with some of the local radio stations. We've continued to do that. A lot of our stuff was sports-based marketing, where we had relationships with some of the local teams, some of the the bigger teams here in Denver, as well as in a big way, the lacrosse was kind of our niche sport that we sponsored. The Colorado Mammoth, which is an indoor lacrosse team, and then the Outlaws, which were they played on the at Mile High Stadium where the Broncos play, and were owned by the Broncos. And also the RFA, which is an MMA fight series whenever they're in town, which we've done for years. So that was all those going away, obviously, we kind of had to shift gears a little bit, and we focused more on online marketing with Misfit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's crazy what's happening with sports. I mean, obviously they're kind of coming back now, but I can totally understand that. Obviously, getting that ripped away, and you needed something else, obviously. And since working with us, I mean, what have you guys kind of seen change? What are some of the benefits that you've noticed at the restaurant?
I think the thing that sets you guys apart is that it's not about getting likes. It's about driving people into the doors.
Yep.
You know, getting customers through the doors is number one. Once we have them in there, we feel like our product speaks for itself. So if somebody's going to come in and try something, even at a discounted rate, they're going to remember it. They're going to remember the great food, the great service, and want to keep coming back. You know, I think a lot of times we used to focus on trying to get the best picture of ribs and get 1,000 likes, but what's the point of that? You know, when you know, you're not making any money from it.
100%. And kind of the running joke we have here at Misfit is you can't deposit likes into the bank. You know, everyone's so focused on it. It's like the obsession of the world today. But at the end of the day, yes, we want likes, but what do we really want? We want more money. We want to grow our business, right? And
I'd rather have 0 likes and 1,000 customers than a million likes and no customers.
100%, 100%. And on that note, I mean, obviously we've changed a lot of things as far as the marketing for you guys, and we've added a lot to it, obviously. But can you talk to us about some of these like campaign specifics that you've seen as of recently?
Yeah, I think, you know, the best thing that we've seen return on right now is our buy one, get one sandwich offer that we've been doing. We've gotten about $10,000 in sales through that campaign this past month. We've seen about, according to the statistics, 636,000 you know, views, and we've had about 1,400 people through our doors that have actually redeemed it. So, and for us, at about an average $22 per person, it's a pretty nice return.
100%. Yeah, and the thing where I always tell our clients is honestly, like, we can only do so much. At the end of the day, we got to partner with a great brand like you guys. I mean, marketing, as we kind of joke, is it accelerates the truth of a brand, right? So you guys were already a proven concept. You guys already kick ass. People already love you guys. All we're doing is getting more people to know about you, try you guys out, and come back, right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, if you're a brand new restaurant and you know you're not ready for the onslaught of people, you probably don't want to, you know, invite. You know, if you're only prepared to serve 20 guests, you don't want 200 showing up because they're all going to have a bad experience.
100%. And that's why for us too, like my job is I want to work with experts like you, right? I want to work with someone who's already doing well but wants to do better. You know, we always want to help everyone, of course, but you guys had a proven product. You guys have already been doing really well. And so working with someone like you guys has been a pleasure because everything is already lined up. It's true. It's a perfect synergy. It's a perfect fit. And that's why we were so excited from the get-go, you know?
Yeah. Thanks, Fred. I appreciate it. I'll take that that's a good compliment. That's high praise.
100%. By the way, you guys have some other barbecue restaurant fans, by the way. We've actually been signing up a few other barbecue concepts in Colorado that have heard of you guys and are like legit big fans. I don't want to say any specific names. I don't know if they are okay with that or not.
We were one of the first, you know, kind of barbecue places in Denver. Before we opened, you know, people always used to complain and say, "Oh, there's no barbecue in Denver. There's no barbecue here." And you know, Denver has become kind of a melting pot of people from all over the country. There's lots of people here that move up from Texas or move west from, you know, Kansas and Chicago and St. Louis, and that, you know, Kansas City's a huge barbecue area, and there's unfortunately a ton of Chiefs fans here now. And we get to see them on, you know, twice a year when they play the Broncos. But all kidding aside, it's great actually for us because I remember 23 years ago, Denver was a lot smaller, and we saw just the biggest difference from like summertime when people think of barbecue to the winter where people from Denver just didn't really think of barbecue. But now it's not so seasonal. I mean, people are eating barbecue year round. You know, in Texas, they eat barbecue for breakfast. So
yeah,
you know,
it's crazy.
It's all, you know, like those breakfast tacos they have like at Rudy's in Austin.
Yes.
People line up for barbecue tacos there in the mornings. So it's like,
100%.
It's crazy.
100%.
You know?
No, but seriously, you guys have some big fans. I mean, I actually name dropped you recently on a call I had with someone, and they're like, if you can make us even half of what Brothers BBQ is, even a quarter of what Brothers BBQ is, I would be more than happy to sign up with you guys. So thanks for doing this interview as well. No, seriously. I'll
tell them I said thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever
But
they
again,
are.
you guys are doing some big things. It's great. And then since working with us in general, I mean, what do you feel like you've kind of learned about working with us? What have you learned about our programs or your restaurant in general, your customers? What have been some big
Yeah,
learning
I mean,
experiences?
the thing I like working about you guys, and from my perspective, the nitty gritty and the numbers, you kind of heard me bumbling over those. I'm not so much a numbers guy until sort of the end of the month when I'm looking at the big picture.
Yeah,
Then I kind of focus on the numbers. But just the fact that if we, early in the campaign, we noticed, I think from the beginning in November, it was dine in only. And obviously with COVID, that was something we kind of oversaw and we didn't change it. And it said dine in only. And I got some feedback and people were like, why can't we get this to go? Obviously there's no dine in, and we
yeah,
brought it to your attention and it was fixed within, a few minutes. And so working with a company that's responsive is huge. And you'd be surprised how many companies, you send them a message or, there are companies that you work with that you spend money with and you need something from them. And it's like they go missing for days. And that's not the case with Misfit. So we appreciate that, being able to make changes instantly and promptly is really important in the restaurant business because you just never know when crazy things, I used to say I've seen it all, but now it's like, I definitely never saw this coming. So,
yeah. I
you know,
know,
think,
right? It's crazy. I remember because we had your brother Chris also on the podcast, and I remember he was telling me too. It was like you guys have already been through a recession, so you were kind of preparing for something of that sort, but not a pandemic like this, right? I mean, no one would have
yeah,
guessed. I mean,
this is
crazy.
like movies stuff, this is something
Yeah,
that you see in a movie and you're like, oh, that'd be crazy. And it's just, but it doesn't seem like it would ever be
it's
real. But,
crazy.
luckily for us, COVID doesn't get transmitted through food, that,
Yeah,
because that
yeah,
in the
right.
beginning, I think a lot of people just didn't know. In the beginning, we were like,
Is that the case? I didn't even know the science behind all that, but yeah,
and it changes daily. So I don't want to turn this into a political show,
yeah,
or if wearing masks works or not, and all these crazy things. I mean, I wear it just because if it does work, then I'd rather have it than not.
for sure. Better safe than sorry, of course.
But I think, I think they've definitely proven that the virus cannot live on food. So we're safe to
Okay.
eat. But, in the beginning, it's just like you just didn't know. It was just one of those things. It was like
Yeah,
so
so many
brand new. There
unknowns.
was so many unknowns. But I think now they've gotten a pretty good grip on it. And hopefully
Yeah.
we'll get back to our, being able to go to concerts and football games and stuff here in the next 6 months or next year. So I would think by next
100%.
I've got a first grader and we've been doing homeschool through
Yeah.
her school, since Monday, and I'm exhausted already. I think teachers deserve
Yeah.
way more than they get paid. Because I was just like, this is
Yeah.
3 days, and I've got one, 6-year-old, and they're dealing with like 30 of them. So I can't imagine.
100%. And Nick, what would you tell someone who maybe has considered our marketing programs, considered signing up to work with us, but is still kind of on the fence about moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I would give it a shot. I think that the number one thing in any business is sales. And if you're not driving sales and you're not constantly trying to get more people through your doors and give them a great product, and first and foremost, have a great product and have great service, and then sales will eventually take care of themselves. But you also need to remind people. And I've got even feedback through our campaigns with you guys where people are like, oh, I see comments that people leave like, oh, I was there. I used to go there all the time years ago. I haven't been in so long. And it's a lot of marketing isn't sometimes it's not getting people in the door for the first time. It's getting them to keep coming back and to remind people like, we're still here.
Yes.
Remember those awesome ribs that you had 2 years ago at one of our locations? Like they're still there. It's just, it's
Yeah.
funny. And I do that too. In my, I tend to find like 3 or 4 places that are close to my house, and those are the places I frequent. And then, I'll see something or I'll get reminded of a place that I went to, a year ago or 2 years ago and go, oh man, I should go back there. It's funny how your brain just kind of gets locked into we're such creatures of habit. But you
100%.
definitely, you got to get people and new people especially getting a new customer can be worth thousands and thousands to your bottom line, because if you turn a new customer into a regular customer, you do the math. If they start spending $20 a week at your establishment and start bringing their friends in and they're doing the same, I mean, it adds up.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And I think we just said such a strong point, because it's about the acquisition and the retention, and then tracking to see if any of this works. And like literally that's our whole methodology as a business, as you know. I mean, we call it the ART system, right? Acquisition, retention, and tracking. Those three things, boom. You need all of them if you want to succeed.
Yeah. No, and that's
right?
a good point, Brett, because I think, a lot of marketing, like, we do radio because we get feedback from customers that say, oh, I always hear you guys on the Rick Lewis show. And, but at the same time, it's not really something you can track. I mean, and a lot of times customers come in and they don't even know why they're in there. And,
yeah.
But with your program, it's black and white numbers. So that's a cool thing to be able to see that.
100%. 100%. Well, Nick, again, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today about everything. You guys are killer to work with, and you guys have a ton of raving fans apparently. So it's really cool, and it's a pleasure always. And it's been a pleasure during this whole year, right? I mean, so many people have been going through a difficult time, and you guys have been pushing through it. So, it's really, really awesome to see that. And I guess we'll look forward to this next campaign finishing up in the next couple of weeks. You guys are on a hot one right now, and we're going to keep it going.
Definitely, Brett. I appreciate it, man.
Alrighty. We'll be in touch real soon. Thanks. You too. Alrighty. See ya.